Guys, this is CA Yashashwini Srinivas. Hope everybody is doing great. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video, I'll be sharing my strategies for CA Final Audit paper. First thing, I'll start with my preparation, how I've done and what you guys have to do. So coming to my preparation, I pretty much had 3 months of time after my articleship. I completed my articleship in Jan 2025 and I had pretty much 3 months, that is Feb, March and April, for May 2025 exams. So what I did is soon after the next day I started audit. From the very next day I kind of followed a very weird strategy, or very different strategy. What I did is I had like the very next day after my articleship I started preparing for audit, and I used to give only when the initial days I started giving only 2 hours in a day for audit, kind of 1.5 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours, 1.5 hour in morning and 1.5 hour in evening. I followed this strategy because I'm not a theory kind of a person. I can't do theory for continuous 5-6 hours. So I had implemented this strategy for my audit. So what I used to do is morning wake up, and the first subject that I used to read in the fresh mind was audit. I used to read, and then for morning 1.5 hour I used to read, and evening. But one thing that worked for me in this, all the theory subjects, I can say, I used to revise like anything. Like if I do audit morning, evening, if I'm going before going to a new standards on auditing, before going to new SE, I used to make sure that I should do the thing that I've done in the morning. Like I should revise whatever I've done in the morning, then go to the next one. So this is what a cumulative revision strategy that I followed. And you guys pretty much be aware about 137 rule. Like if you have read any theory thing, first thing, within 24 hours, within 1 day you have to revise it again, and then within 3 days you have to revise it again, and within 7 days you have to revise it again, to not to forget and to remember it for a longer time. This is what I used to make sure to do, a cumulative strategy, so that I used to just make sure that I should not forget whatever I've read. Because see, if we start reading the audit entire day, what happens? You read, you keep on read, you complete some 3-4 essays in a day, and tomorrow if you forget the first essay that you've read yesterday, it's just waste of time, right? So I pretty much followed these kind of strategy, and yeah, this was very consistent in my preparation. I have never given a separate entire day for audit. This was the only thing. The morning 1.5 hour, or evening and evening 1.5 hour, 3 hours. This had got increased day by day when I pretty much had only 1 month for exams. I guess I increased this duration for 2.5 hours in morning and 2.5 hours evening as well. I have to say, what I used to do after reading an essay or any topic in the audit, I used to make sure that I'm doing a summary notes. Basically, the summary notes is all about containing a very detailed index of the topics that covered in a particular essay. It might be about, if we take essay 200, it might be contains of objectives, it might be a factors, it might be anything that is headings of the topics that is covered in one essay or any topic in the audit. That's what I used to make a summary note. And the reason for this summary notes is, whenever I start revising after reading, I should never touch a book to see anything. I should just see this summary note and I should revise. And that revision should be mandatorily contains with writing practice. Writing practice matlab, I'm not saying you guys have to write everything in detail. Is you just have to, like, you guys know doctor handwriting, you just have to write like that. It's totally enough. Why I say writing practice means it just makes your memory power, whatever the content that you read, whatever the topic that you read, it makes stay in our mind for a longer duration. That's what I felt by writing. Because why I say, one thing you think in your mind, then also you write. there is two things that's going on. One thing, you remember the thing that you read in mind, as well as you're writing. And by writing also, you're saying in your mind and writing. It's like 2-3 things that you're doing at once. So it's like you're doing 2 revisions if you're writing. So only by saying, it's only 1 revision. By saying and writing, it's 2 revisions. So it's always better to do a writing practice, especially for the theory subjects like audit. I know audit is a dry subject, that's why I have followed these kind of strategy, only 1.5 hour in the morning, 1.5 hour in the evening, these kind of strategy. And one more thing which I did is, we basically have so many things as a factors or objectives we can see in the audit subject. What I did is, I did a mnemonics. Like I did a code words, like it's a very weird codes and all I did. I also suggest you guys to do a code word, so that, like, you know, if you have something, if you are objectives of an auditor, then you should just, you know, you in your mind should say that code. I've not done code for everything. I've done only for those which has, like, we have pretty much factors in most essays, right? So I've done code for factors because I should not get confused with the factor of one essay with another essay. So these kind of things also helps a lot. For Caro, if I have to say, I have done code in CA Inter. I have taken my coaching class, coaching in issues, where sir made us code, like, for the Caro pillow accept season. It's like, it's kind of you know, very weird, but it does helps me a lot. Till now I'm really okay with the Caro because of that codes that I have learned in the Inter, and I followed the same for the CA final. So I would suggest you guys to also make code words in this kind of audit subject, because it's a vast subject. It's like very difficult for us to remember everything. At least if we make codes, I guess we can remember for a longer duration. And one more important thing that you have to do in the audit paper is, in the exam, in those 3 hours, we'll be having first 15 minutes for reading the question paper, and then the next 3 hours will be for the writing. This is very, very important thing that you have to do no matter what in the first 15 minutes. Basically, if the invigilator doesn't instruct you about anything about writing in question paper, then you have to mandatorily do this. First 15 minutes, when you start reading question paper, you should write. Basically, you should write the mnemonics. You know what happens when you start writing in 3 hours? You start mix matching the concepts, right? So what I did is, when I had 15 minutes of time, whatever the questions that I'm very sure about, I used to write the mnemonics, like the quotes that I've made or some brief about that question. This really helps for you, and follow this. Definitely you can save better for time in audit also. In audit, basically time has never been an issue for me, except this May 2025 attempt. So better to be using these kind of tricks to get a good marks. Since audit is a vast paper, I guess we can't read the entire syllabus. I know this for sure, and I haven't also read the entire syllabus. I was pretty much left with 3-4 chapters, I guess. You guys also make sure that you are prioritizing the important ones, and whatever the things that you leave it. But whatever you do it properly. Like, even in that also you're leaving something, then that doesn't make any sense. Whatever you do it properly, each and everything. Don't leave anything in that chapters what you do. If you leave, then leave it, but make sure to prioritize the important topics in audit, so that you will be saving time. And also, reading the entire syllabus again, it's a very challenging task. If I want to say, you should never leave standards on auditing. No, you should do all the standards on auditing to get a good marks. And also, professional ethics has a good weightage of marks. Standards on auditing, including those SRS, SRE, and everything when it comes to standards on auditing, and then professional ethics, and these kind of chapters as a good weightage of marks even in exams. So make sure that you are doing these kind of concepts very properly without leaving any bit of it before. And I'm saying it again, revision plays a very important role, especially in theory subjects. So make sure to revise and revise. So then, and also I would suggest you guys to go through RTPs, past papers, and MTPs as well, because sometimes you will be knowing theory, and in audit solving question, there'll be very much confusion while solving questions. So it's better to always refer to a question bank, or referring to a MTP, RTP also makes a very good impact in your exams. So I would suggest you guys to not miss out these kind of things. If you're a person who are okay with studying the audit entire day, make sure that you revise all the topics that you have studied in a day at the end of the day, right? This revision, again, I'm saying whatever the approach that you follow, approach doesn't matter. It's about revision. You're reading every day 3 hours, you are reading the audit entire day. Yes, approach might be different, but at the end, if you want to make sure that you're remembering whatever you read, then definitely here revision plays a very important role. Make sure that you do revision and writing practice. If I have to pretty much summarize, first thing, make sure that you're reading audit with any other practical subject. Make sure that you are taking 2 subjects at a time. One should be practical and one should be theory, that is audit, because that is how I'm stressing this out, because it's not most of the people are facing difficulty in reading the theory subjects entire day. That's why I'm saying this kind of approach will be helpful. And make sure that you revise whatever you have done in the end of the day. This should be a must. And again, 137 approach you should follow. And doing a summary notes and using mnemonics also helps you scoring the subjects and prioritizing important chapters again at the end. So this was it about the video relating to audit. Do this and definitely you can score a good marks. One more thing, have confidence in yourself. That's where you can crack everything. Just think that nothing is impossible, because there are people who scored very good marks in audit, there are people who scored above 90 in audit. So nothing is impossible. Always think, when somebody is there, definitely why I can't. Sure to stay optimistic all the time. It does happen that you read everything and then again you're forgetting everything. It does happen to every CA student, it's not only you. So make sure to be optimistic. And yeah, this is it. This is about the video. If you like the video, then definitely don't forget to subscribe my channel, share and comment in my channel. So this is it. Meet you in the next video.